Yesterday, Black Ops 4 was introduced to update 1.16, in which across all three main modes, or I guess four because League Play is now on that homepage, we ended up getting some adjustments, some content additions, and some changes to each of those modes at hand. Zombies got a brand new map, Blackout got a few adjustments in terms of balancing and things of the like, MP got bare bones and a few weapon tunings as well, League Play got new rank additions, and so on and so forth. So all four main categories and pillars of the game had some aspect touched in some way, shape, or form. But one thing that was added in as of yesterday also was something in the black market, and I try to stick by a rule with my content that I like to present just the simple, cold, hard facts, unbiased and no interjection of my personal opinion on that content, so that you guys have the information at hand to make your own informed decisions. And so with yesterday's introduction of the Demo Hammer bundle, you might have caught wind on it in that video that it wasn't something I was entirely pleased on, but now that we're outside of just giving the information at hand, I feel like we can talk a little bit further because, again, I like to let these things sort of stew. I don't want to jump into any irrational discussion or irrational complaints. I like to base this stuff in logic and reason, and so being that it's stuck with me now for an extra 24 hours and I'm still pretty upset about it, I figure, you know what, it's time to suspend those rules of just the facts, because I got a few things to say. The Triple Play bundle, or the Demo Hammer, let's start with the backstory, I guess. This was added in as of yesterday for 2,800 COD points. Depending on how you deem your value proposition for COD point bundles, and if you do buy them, what bundles you end up purchasing for the most amount, that's either $25 to $30. What you get for that $25 to $30 is the Homewrecker DLC weapon. It's the hammer that we previously knew as the Demo Hammer from the game files. You get a weapon crate, which to my knowledge isn't dupe protected, by the way, which will grant you one Mark II weapon. You get 10 reserve cases and then 10 tiers for that $25 to $30 span that you end up paying on it. So let's break this down. Assuming it's a 1-to-1 dollar to COD point comparison, which you can't buy them outright, so you're not going to eventually get that $28 split equally, but for theoretical sake, if you do split it equally, that's $7 for each. And honestly, two of those items, that's in line with a uniform or a reactive camo that we've seen before. But the others, I couldn't tell you the last time that I got 7 reserve cases that I was each like, okay, that's pretty cool, I'll use that item. Chances are I got a dupe sticker, and when it got dupe protect rerolled, I got a splatter camo on a pistol or something like that. Woohoo! Call the news station, I hit the jackpot. And not to mention, for the tiers, find me anywhere in the Contraband stream where 7 tiers grant you 7 cool items. Because, here's a news flash for you, you literally can't. The best you'll probably find is from tier 45 to 52 with a Warden Blackout skin, a Zero outfit, and the Rampage shotgun. You mix that in also with a double down of face paints from 51 and 52, but that's a best case scenario of 3 cool items of 7 theoretical $1-to-1. And guess what? If you're past tier 100, you can revert back to that previous discussion of $7 worth of reserve contents, which again, is sure to be a bad time. So for a price tag of almost half the game, half the base price of Black Ops 4, you get, let me check my calculations here, jack shit. And the thing that surprises me the most, and I don't understand how it keeps getting worse and worse, is that for whoever's making this decision up at the higher ups of Activision, their jobs are to play the basics of economics, supply and demand. But they can't get it right for some reason. If there's no demand for garbage stickers, uniforms that you can't see, face paints and other stuff, and people don't want it, the demand is dictated by interest. If there is no interest, forcing more of that garbage down consumers' throats, or at the very least, dropping it on their doorstep every single day, isn't gonna make the player wanna buy it. It's gonna make them shut the door and not wanna even answer because they know the delivery man is dropping off shit. I don't understand how that is so hard to process. So who in the world thought, yes, more people will buy this new DLC reskin if we jack up the price even more. And hey, you know how you can buy an entire mini event stream for $20, assuming that you don't even want to just take the time to grind it out and not pay anything for it, and instead just buy the new weapon at the end? Let's make it even more expensive than that for just a melee that isn't even viable. And oh yeah, some reserves. Yes, great deal. Great, hit that, put it through right now. In fact, let's make it half the price of the game. Like, I just don't understand the fundamental thought process of those business tactics. If your job is to literally make money, it is, again, comes down to the basics of economics. If you're not gonna sell something at a high price point that people don't care about, it's not gonna work. find something else, sell things individually, and I guarantee you'll have more sales. I've said it before, and I'll gladly say it again for those in the back. Call of Duty does not care about the long term, which to me is absolutely ridiculous and will only try to capitalize on the short-term game, which again is incredibly stupid of a way to look at it. Yeah, everyone sees Call of Duty as a shell of what it once was. Modern Warfare 1 through 3, Black Ops 1 through 2, a lot of people consider those the golden years, and I truly don't think that COD will ever get to that level of popularity and mainstream appeal as it once had, and that's not me trying to hate, that's not me trying to be negative or anything, it's just simply because all things come to an end unless there's innovation, and Call of Duty just doesn't seem to want to stick with the times. I don't know if it could ever get anywhere near as the appeal that, say, Modern Warfare 3 had, that peak player base back in the day, but I certainly think that if they played their cards right, they could end up having another resurgence in player base. They could have another resurgence and grow a little bit more and extend the longevity of the game, maybe say from 5 years to 10 years before everybody's finally done with it. Because believe it or not, innovation has literally presented itself to COD in the way of a new industry that can attract more players and business models that really can appeal to the player, and COD just like, nah, I'm good. We don't need that. You have games that are blowing up that are free to play, that tell you the odds on things that if you want to take a chance on them, you know exactly what you're going to be getting for that. You have things that reward you for just playing the game. You have cosmetics that are actually worthwhile in a first-person perspective. But Call of Duty is just like, nah, we don't need any of that. Instead, they're going to hold on for as long as they possibly can to the $60 base game, a $50 season pass, which inevitably ends up hurting your player experience, then dropping in microtransactions that are just absolutely everywhere, price gouging everything, and it's going to kill it off. Call of Duty is, by literal business definition, a cash cow. But that's not to say it can't change. But whoever's the one making the decisions at a top-down level, and I'm not even saying that Treyarch are exempt at this point, because it's never been to this level before, so I have no idea. But whoever makes these pricing strategies at Activision or whoever is in control of it are so goddamn out of touch, it's unreal. The pricing strategy for Black Ops 4 cosmetics are egregious, even if it was a free-to-play game. And it's not. It's a base, again, of $60 minimum, a $50 season pass if you want extra maps that only hurt your playing experience and thin your lobbies in the long run. I just don't see the logic in pricing something that many players may even want behind a paywall that's absolutely absurd. Again, laws of economics. A demand will increase with more availability and an ease of access. I guarantee you that if COD stops trying to bundle stuff with tiers and what players don't care about, they'd make more sales and more revenue long term. But for whatever reason, those in charge can't see that the other places in the industry are working just fine, and they don't want to take that leap of faith that's needed to please the player base and ultimately include them even further. If people are happy, they're gonna buy. That goes for video game items, regular consumer items, clothing, cars, you name it, whatever it is. If people are happier in an economy, they're going to spend their money, especially when they think that that value is worthwhile. And I'll tell you straight up, $28 for a demo hammer and some tiers, that is nowhere near worth it. Even if, again, you just simply part these out, you end up breaking it apart, and you end up selling, say, a Mark II bribe for $5 to $7 and the melee weapon for the same price, I guarantee you'd make way more sales than that of what this triple play bundle is gonna see. Guaranteed. But since we're in the topic of it, and I'm kind of in the rant mode already, let's talk about other items that add to the price here and just point out how further egregious this pricing strategy is in Black Ops 4, a non-free-to-play game, by the way. Just for the grand heist items and everything that we've seen so far with today's update. The Loose Cannon, 800 COD points. The Distraction, 800 COD points. Party Rock, 700. Benjamin's, 300. Benjamin's Jump Pack, 500. The China Wind Jump Pack, 500. The Kiss of Death, 300. The Nebula Uniform, 600. The Carrot Thief Uniform, 800. The Death Reel Camo, 500. The Getaway Uniform, 800. The Carbalicious Camo, 300. The Jester Warpaint, 250. The Vampire Hunter Bundle, 1,000. The Enforcer Mastercraft Bundle, 1,000. The Shamrock and Awe Bundle, 2,000. The Starter Bundle, 1,000. The Replacer Bundle, 1,100. And the Triple Play, finally the Coup de Grace, 2,800 COD points. You know what that is all totaled up? 16,050 COD points. That's for Grand Heist alone. At the very cheapest, you've spent $130 for those cosmetics, assuming that you're counting for all of them. Now, I'd like to think that not everyone actually has bought every single item. I'm sure there's somebody out there or a couple of people that have, but personally, I don't give a shit if somebody spends their disposable income in a fashion they see fit, but to me, half the stuff in this is absolutely useless. outside of the bunny uniform, just because I thought it was hilarious, I don't see a need for any of these uniforms, because with uniforms, you only see the arms while playing anyways. Camos, I can understand where people are intrigued in that, and even I've divulged into some of that. I'm no saint when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I see value in the camos. I like to see the changes on my weapons and things like that. I'm not a fan of the Kiss of Death or the Enforcer Mastercraft, because I don't use the MOG 12 and things like that. The point being, value's in the eye of the beholder. But when a $60 game introduces $130 for new content, and get this, just 36 days. 36 days since Grand Heist started, and that's only half of the event, bear in mind. Yesterday was the halfway point of Grand Heist. That's a goddamn problem. So I don't know what other stuff they're gonna try and market or what other stuff they're gonna try and sell, if there's gonna be more bundles that come along with it, but if you think about it, $260 total for one operation. 70 days, just over 2 months. That's insane. And then you take that into account with, say, Absolute Zero. That probably didn't have as many high priced and high selling things, maybe about $200 at the end, but that's still a problem. And then you consider that we had First Strike offer some things again on the more minor scale. You're probably looking at anywhere around $500 to $600 just in microtransaction content in 5 months, not even half a year. You're peddling half a grand worth of things on a game that people already paid decent money just to access. That's absurd. It's just sad to me, man. I mean, I grew up on Call of Duty. I said this all in my last rant video about Blackjack's Reserve and the problems that the system with Grand Heist when it launched created. Whether that was intentional or not, doesn't matter. But still, I've said this all before. I love Call of Duty. I have loved Call of Duty. I want it to flourish. I want it to do well. But Call of Duty doesn't seem to really want the same thing. I made the analogy that it almost seems like Call of Duty is like just crying out, please kill me. Because that's what seemingly is happening. They're pushing away and consistently jading a player base that just wants the game to do well. Again, I don't know if it will ever flourish like it did in Modern Warfare 3 again, but I certainly see the franchise as more potential than just milking a cash cow until it's literally dead. I see at least a resurgence coming back if they follow just simply what others in the industry are doing. They don't even need to necessarily be the innovative and new hot thing on the market like it was back in the day. Just take steps not to kill your game. Now, I'm no saint. I've admitted that even in this video that I've paid for camos because I see the value in those. I like the different customization options in that sense that I can actually see. I've bought tiers for reasons we've discussed previously, that it's for content and it's a tax write-off, which is a luxury I value as a direct result of your continued support that I will never take for granted. So no, I'm no saint, but I'll also be damned if I'm not going to speak up when I have a platform that I can use for the hopeful betterment of this community, and maybe even the franchise overall. Love or hate me for the words or actions displayed, I don't care. I've been working on the internet for long enough to know that everyone's got an opinion, and it's totally cool. That is everybody's right. You can never please everyone, but that doesn't mean that when I see bullshit, I'm not going to call it out. So I guess to recap, the ball's in your court, Activision. No one really has any expectations for you to take that shot. In fact, we're honestly probably all waiting for you to try and sell us that ball that we just passed to you back for $10. But show us a sign of good faith. Take that risk, change the system, or at least somewhat make this better. Because if Black Ops 4 is like this, and it consistently keeps getting worse, who's to say that it's not going to continue happening? I know that I've been talking with some of my friends about the topic of this, and honestly, Modern Warfare 4 is a scary thought. If this is what Black Ops 4 has become, Modern Warfare 4, or whatever the next Infinity Ward title is going to be, that's honestly scary. Because if every single year since Advanced Warfare we thought, this can't be that bad, they're not going to try and pull one over on us, and they've done it every single year, well, progressively, you know where this is going. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I just wanted to get this off my chest because, again, yesterday I wanted to take a little bit more of a fact-driven approach. I didn't really want to interject my opinions or anything like that in a video, just simply telling you everything that changed. But today, well, it's a different story. It was still eating at me, so wanted to give my thoughts. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, once to do with all things Black Ops 4 content and all things Call of Duty. Of course, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, we got all that kind of stuff. So I still enjoy the base game of Black Ops 4 as a whole, but this kind of stuff definitely hurts, man. And again, that analogy of the delivery man delivering it to your door every single day, it's hard to avoid not be brought down when it's literally in front of you every single day. So hopefully we see some change out of this, but that said, if you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram a little bit further, those links are down there in the description below. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.